Chapter 37 to 42. Seiji wasn't in his room and I checked everywhere except where we first met. Walking to the only place I haven't checked, I go inside the HTC. Not even bothering to try and sense him, knowing even if he was here I wouldn't know. Walking around I find Meru's meditating while floating. Seeing this I do some warm-up exercises waiting for Meru's to be finished meditating. Meru's, it seems you finished the task I gave to you. Not surprised this time, I stop exercising and look at Meru's, who has finished meditating. Sage-TSK. Did you think I wouldn't finish it? King Cold wasn't even that good of a fighter, just like most frost demons. Meru's, anyways, I would still like to thank you for defeating King Cold. Looking at him, I get curious about why he never helped out the Galactic Patrol when they fought Frisia. Sage, I heard a while back that Galactic Patrol battled Frisia, and with your strength, beating Cold would be a breeze, let alone Frisia. So why didn't you ever do it? After asking my question, Meru's looked troubled. He shook his head at the question before answering me. Meru's, it's not because I don't want to, it's because I can't, It's quite complicated, so let's just keep it at that. Sage, hell yeah, it's complicated, stupid angel. Not even bothering him about his angel issues, I change the topic. Sage, so are you free right now, or not? Meru's, yeah, while you were having fun, I took care of bounties. So I'm free for a few days. Sage, then let's fight. Asking for a fight must have caught him off guard as he just looked at me for a while. Getting no response from him, I was going to ask him again when he suddenly answered me. Meru's, why not? It's been a while since I have fought someone relatively strong. Hearing his response made me super happy. Smiling, I waited for Meru's to get ready when I thought of something. Sage, Meru's, I'm sure you have heard about Saiyan, correct? Hearing my question, Meru's looks at me slightly confused, but he still answers my question. Meru's, yeah, you guys are a warrior race that used to work under Frisia, and now your race is practically extinct. What about it? Sage, then did you know that when Saiyans heal from injuries, they get stronger? The more serious the injury, the stronger they get after healing. Hearing the information I told him, he seemed a little surprised, and then he looked at me like I was crazy before shaking his head. Meru, no, I don't like the idea of injuring a child, especially someone who I think is a good person. Sage, I am not a good person. And why not? Not only will it make me stronger, but I also have a great healing factor. Meru's, still I won't do it. Seeing that Meru's was still denying my request, I decided to go all in. Sage, what if I owe you one? Seeing as how you can't fight against powerful beings, what if I did it for you? All you have to do is give me a call and I'll help you out. Looking at Meru's, who looks like he is struggling to decide, I wait for him to decide. Meru's, HAA. Fine, I'll do it, but only this once, understand? Smiling like a madman, I back away from him and get into a fighting stance. Looking at Meru's, who is just standing there, not even bothering to take this fight seriously, I ask him one last time. Sage, make sure to only stop fighting me when I can no longer move my body. Seeing him nod, I start seriously focusing on Meru's. Not playing around, I use Akari right away, and Meru's doesn't seem surprised. Flashing right in front of him, I start punching him repeatedly, and while he dodged all my punches by a hair's breadth, he was doing it while not even moving from where he is standing. While I kinda expected this situation to happen, it's still disappointing. Suddenly blocking, I get hit with a kick straight at my chest, pushing me backwards. Looking up I see Meru's in a fighting position, looking at me intensely. Meru's, sorry about earlier, it took a while for me to get warmed up. Sage, I barely even saw him attack. If it wasn't for my instincts, I wouldn't have been able to react in time. Staying focused, I fire several key blasts at him while flying to him. After he deflects all the key blasts, I start fighting him up close again. Attacking him with punches, kicks, elbows, and knees, he still easily blocks all my attacks. Whenever he counterattacks I barely have enough time to respond, I'm only able to block 1/3 of his attacks, and his attacks hurt like hell. Barely blocking a kick to the face, I'm suddenly punched in the stomach, flinging me away. But before I can even reorient myself, I'm kicked on the back, flinging me in another direction. Turning around, I barely blocked another kick. Landing on the ground, I look over and see Meru's is completely fine, while I have some injuries, but nothing serious, yet. Smiling at the excitement I'm feeling, I start laughing before charging straight to Meru's. Constantly attacking each other, I'm hit with a lot of his attacks, and while I am slowly getting injured, I am also learning his movements. As for Meruz, I haven't managed to hit him once, but it doesn't matter how long we fight, for I will never be able to hit him with my current strength. And that's why I want to get stronger, to be able to defeat anyone, even those so-called gods of destructions. If Jiren could do it, why couldn't I? Underscore underscore underscore. Underscore underscore underscore. Meruz dash ha, Sage, that's enough, you can't even attack me like that. Sighing while looking at Sage, who looks like he might die any second. He has blood and bruises all over his body, yet still standing ready to fight. Sensing his condition, I can tell he is low on blood, has tens of broken bones, barely any ki left, and he's starting to hallucinate. Sage dash ha 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 ha, I can still fight. Flashing behind him, he tries turning around, but before he does I chop his neck, knocking him unconscious. Looking down at him, I sigh before picking him up and walking out of the HTC. Walking to the medical bay, a lot of people are constantly looking at me and Sage. Finally arriving, I take him to one of the rejuvenation chamber. Putting him inside, I strap the mask on him. Walking out of the medical bay, I return to my room to sleep and get rid of this uncomfortable feeling. Opening my eyes, I look around and find I'm in a rejuvenation chamber. Outside I see Nala sitting on a chair sleeping. Sighing at myself, cause I know Nala must have been worried about me, because I have never been this badly injured, even when I fought ice. Sage, next time I should inform her before I do something like this again. She is probably going to give me another lecture about my fighting habits. Meditating so I can check how much of a Zenkai boost I received, I close my eyes. Checking my body first, all of my injuries are healed and I feel great. Now checking my ki, I am surprised by the amount my power has increased. Sage, that's such an enormous power boost. That's more than a 10x increase. Excited by the huge increase in power, I almost lost control and destroyed the rejuvenation chamber. Sage, that was close. Okay, I need to gain control of my new power. Calming down, I start meditating while focusing on controlling my power. A few hours later, I have finished gaining control over my power. Opening my eyes, I see Nala is awake. Taking off the mask, I get out of the rejuvenation chamber. Once I'm outside, Nala slithers to me, and then she slaps my face. Confused about why she slapped me, I look at her for an explanation, only for me to be greeted with a sobbing face. Nala dash, don't do something so dangerous and stupid again. Don't you know how worried I was about you? Listening to her did make me feel a little guilty about the whole thing. Sighing, I apologized to her while giving her a hug and comforting her. Sage dash, sorry for making you worry. We stayed hugging for some time before I got uncomfortable. Releasing the hug, Nala unwraps her body that was wrapped around me. Looking at her, she has calmed down and is now smiling. About to ask how long I was out for, she spoke first. Nala dash, now it's time for your punishment. What type of punishment should I give you? Hearing her wanting to punish me, I wanted to reason with her, but she cut me off the moment I opened my mouth. Nala dash, of course, you don't have to follow my punishments, but I do wonder how far will you get with your training without my support. Hearing her threaten me with no more training gear from her made me click my tongue in annoyance, but I didn't try to refute her anymore. After waiting for a while, Nala finally decided on what my punishment will be. Nala dash, okay, I have decided on what your punishment will be. You are forbidden to train for the next week. You must focus on resting and enjoying your life. Life isn't only about training and fighting, you must find other things to enjoy as well. Sage dash tsk, fine. While it's annoying I won't be able to test out my new strength for the next week, at least the punishment this time was an easy one. Walking with Nala back to our room, I ask her about my coma. Sage dash, how long was I unconscious for? Nala dash, 5 hours, it's the longest you have ever been unconscious for. Making it back inside our room, I go lay down on the couch while Nala goes back to her science room doing who knows what with runes. Grabbing the remote, I turn on the television, flipping between channels to find anything interesting. Even after 20 minutes passed, I found nothing even slightly interesting. Sighing, I turned off the TV and left the room. Walking to the cafeteria, I wanted to eat some food, hoping that would cure some of my boredom. Grabbing a huge plate of food, I found a spot to sit and eat. After finishing the food, I looked at the clock, hoping a lot of time has passed. Sage, it only took me 10 minutes to finish all that food, huh? Leaving the cafeteria, I walked around the HQ hoping to find something interesting, but sadly, even after wasting 2 hours just walking, nothing remotely interesting happened. Walking back to my room, I go inside Nala's room, figuring she would be doing something more interesting than what I'm doing. The moment Nala sees me, she starts smirking playfully. Nala dash, what's wrong Sage, are you bored? Sage dash, humph. Nope, I just thought that you were lonely always spending time here. Nala dash if you say so, just make sure you stay out of the way, I'm currently doing experiments. Ignoring her, I start exploring this huge room, picking up anything that catches my eye. Searching for a few minutes, I come across a metal ball with a pin attached to it. Messing around with it, I try pulling the pin and accidentally pulled it off. Nala must have heard me messing around because she turned to look at me and got freaked out. Nala dash Sage, I told you to sto Sage, what are you doing? After she yelled, she pressed some button that immediately encased the room in runes, making it glow. After that, she pressed another button that encased her in a cocoon made of runes as well. Confused about why she started yelling when I didn't even do anything serious, I asked her about it. Sage dash why are you yell dash? And halfway through speaking, the ball I was holding exploded, destroying everything in the room except for the cocoon. Coughing from all the smoke in the room when it starts leaving through some ventilation system. A minute later, Nala comes out of the perfectly fine cocoon and looks around at all the damage that was caused. Not wanting to get blamed, I try making it her fault. Sage dash you probably shouldn't keep explosives just in a box like that. Hearing my response, she looks at me extremely angry before she starts yelling at me again. Nala dash it is in a special box named dangerous explosives and you're too stupid enough to even realize. Listening to her, I realize I probably made a mistake. Seeing how she's still yelling at me, I decided that it would probably be better for me to leave. Quickly leaving before she stops me, I make my way through the HQ, trying to find a place where Nala won't be able to find me. Flashing around, I find an area meant for storage. Figuring this doesn't seem like a bad place to hide, I go inside one of the rooms. Once inside, I look around and the first thing I notice is how massive this room is. It's even bigger than the hangars for spaceships. Making my way through the place, I sit down on one of the boxes high up. Sage dash what am I going to do? That's when I remembered the third wish I got from Purunga. Pulling out the compass, I hold it in my hand and watch as the needle starts spinning. Several seconds later, it stops spinning and is pointing behind me. Sage, maybe I won't be bored anymore. Underscore underscore underscore. Underscore underscore underscore. Sage's new power level dash 10B. Leaving the storage room, I walk in the direction the compass is pointing. After walking for a while, I arrive at the residential area for retired galactic patrolmen. Looking around the area, the one thing I notice that they all have in common, no matter their species, is their elderly appearance. Hoping that I'll just be passing through, I continue following the compass. Walking past a group of old people, I continue walking when I notice that the compass has changed direction. Confused, I turn around and follow the path I had just come from when suddenly the compass turned back around. Sage, I must be close to my destination. Turning around again, I walk slowly to not miss when the compass needle moves again. I notice that the moment I walk past the group of old people, the needle will turn in their direction. Hoping that I'm mistaken, I walk past them again, and the moment I do, the needle turns in their direction again. Sighing at this development, I decided to check what these old people are doing. Sage, there's no way Purunga messed up my wish, right? Walking toward them, one of the elderly women who reminded me of the mink tribe from One Piece noticed me walking in their direction and called out to me. Grand dash, what are you doing here, young boy? Getting a good look at her now that she's looking in my direction, she looked like Carrot, but if she was like 40 years old. She looked great for someone who is nearing the end of their life. How can I tell she is old when she looks 40 years old? It's her ki. Ki is the life force, and a person's body will constantly produce ki. The only time it won't is when your ki capacity is full. The second reason it won't produce ki is when a person has reached the end of their lifespan, which means she probably only has a few years left, and that's if she doesn't exert herself, losing the remaining ki she has in her body. Sage dash nothing, just curious about what you guys are doing. Grand dash oh my, to think you're interested in what us old people do. Saying that, she grabs my arm and brings me to the rest of the group. With the group, I can finally see what they are doing, and it looks like they are playing some game. The group, seeing Gran return with a young boy, looks surprised. Gran dash, here I would like to introduce you to. That's right, we never introduced each other. I'm Gran a mink. Sage dash, I'm Sage a Saiyan. The moment I said my race, they all looked extremely surprised, even the two people playing the game. But they calmed down a few seconds later, going, and the two continuing their game. Gran dash, to think you're a Saiyan. But looking at you, you don't look like a typical Saiyan. Sage dash tisk, it's a mutation, so do you plan to tell me what you guys are doing? Brock dash, we're playing a game called chess, are you interested? The one who answered is a big man, made entirely of rocks. Of course, he doesn't have wrinkles, but he does cracks all over his body, and I assume the more cracks the older you are for his species. Sage: I'm already here, so I might as well try it. And if I don't like it, I'll go and beat up Purunga. Sage: sure, I got nothing better to do. Brock, hearing me agree to play, stands up from the seat and moves away so I can sit down. Sitting down in the seat, I look at my opponent and I'm surprised to find that he's a Namekian. Sage: I'm surprised to see a Namekian not on Namek. The Namekian got a little surprised when I bring up Namek. Dill: I could say the same about you, Saiyan. For you to know about Namek, you must have been there. Hope you didn't destroy it. Sage: Tisk, why would I destroy Namek? That place has no one strong to fight, and that place is far too valuable. Dill: not only do you know of Namek, but you know of our secret as well. Sage: I used your secret, and that's the only reason I'm here right now. But before he could reply, an elderly female who was made out of flames got annoyed at our conversation. Surge: hurry up and play, I didn't come here to listen to people talk all day. Dill: ***, she's right, now let's start the game. Do you know how to play? Sage: I watched you and that rock guy play, so I got an understanding of how to play. Dill: well then you can go first. Getting the go-ahead, I grab the pawn that's on the right of the board and move him forward 2 spaces. Dill grabs the knight on his right and places it in front of his pawn, across from my pawn as well. Grabbing my pawn, I move it forward 1 space. Dill grabs one of his pawns and moves it 2 spaces forward, but the pawn he moved was on the opposite side of the board. Seeing this, I grab the pawn in front of my queen and move it forward 2 spaces, while Dill grabs the pawn in front of the other knight. I move my rook right behind my pawn. Dill moves his bishop all the way to the middle left of the board. I wasn't paying attention to his moves, because I was too focused on attacking him, so I moved my rook diagonally behind my pawn. And right when I did that, Dill moved his bishop right in front of my queen. Dill: checkmate. Seeing how I lost so quickly made me a little angry, so I requested a rematch. Sage: that was a warm-up. Let's play again. Dill: he, if you want to lose again, then let's go again. So we played another match and I lost again. Frustrated, I demanded another rematch. We played and I lost again. Angry at how I lost 3 times in a row, I demand to play against someone else. My new competitor was Brock. The moment he sat down, I immediately moved one of my pieces. A few minutes later, I lost again, demanding a rematch. I lost that game too. ______. It's been several hours, it's quiet and dark. Everyone has left or gone to sleep, the only ones left are me and Surge. Surge: checkmate. After she said that she tried to get up and leave, but I stopped her before she could. Since she was made out of flames, it was kinda hard to tell her expression, but she doesn't seem to be shining as bright as before. Sage: I want a rematch. Surge: no. I'm tired, let me go to sleep. Sage: tsk, fine, but I will beat you tomorrow. After saying that, I let her go and watch her go into one of the elevators. All alone now, I walk to one of the walls and lay down beside it, planning on going to sleep. Sage: I'll beat them tomorrow. Sage: checkmate. Flipping the board in happiness, I start laughing loudly at finally beating Dill at chess. Dill: it seems you finally managed to win, and here I thought you would give up halfway through. Sage: who do you think I am? I'm a Saiyan, and we Saiyans will always overcome challenges. Standing up from the seat, I start walking away, never wanting to play that game again. Seeing me walk away from them, one of them called out to me. Grand: where are you going, Sage? Sage: I'm leaving, I never want to play that terrible game again. We Saiyans are meant for fighting, not our intellect. And with that, I continue walking away, excited that it's been a week, so I can finally train again. _____. Grand POV. Looking at Sage walk away, I look at Dill and ask the question that's on all of our minds. Grand: Dill, why did you let Sage win? Bringing the topic up, everyone else looks at Dill ready to hear his answer. Dill: you guys saw how slow he was improving at the game. If I played normally, then I would have died before he could beat me. Nodding at Dill's answers, which is true. Sage was terrible at chess, and watching him play and make such obvious mistakes made me feel dumber the more I watched. Brock: yeah, even though he never gave up, which I admire. I have never seen anyone play chess as bad as him. Grand: do you think he will come back? Dill dash no idea. Underscore underscore underscore. Underscore underscore underscore. Walking inside my room, I go and visit Nala to tell her the news. Knocking on the door, I wait a little bit before I hear Nala call me in. Inside, I see Nala working on her necklace, ignoring that I tell Nala the good news. Nala dash where have you been, Sage? Haven't seen you in a while. Sage dash and whose fault is that? Anyways, I have managed to win a game of chess. Nala dash ha 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 ha, I didn't know you could tell jokes. Annoyed that she doesn't believe me, I say it again, but this time I make sure she understands that I'm not lying. Sage dash humph, I'm not lying, I managed to beat an old man named Dill at chess. If you don't believe me, I'll take you to him. Nala, hearing how serious I sound, stops laughing and looks at me suspiciously before she believes me. Nala dash okay, I believe you. So is that all you have been doing this week? Sage dash yes, and now that it's finally been a week, I will continue training. Leaving Nala to do whatever she was doing before, I make my way to HTC, hoping to train with Meruz again. Underscore underscore underscore. Underscore underscore underscore. Sitting in the captain's seat of our spaceship, Nala comes up from behind me and asks me a question. Nala dash dear, are you sure this is the planet that houses the one who defeated Frisia? There is nothing remarkable about this planet, and even I could defeat the inhabitants of this planet. Turning around, my eyes land on a gorgeous adult woman with long pink hair. She is Nala, of course. It's been a little over 18 years since we first arrived at the Galactic Patrolman HQ, and over the years we have changed a lot. Take Nala for example, she has grown to stand at about 6 feet, she looks just like her mother, and even though she's 35, she looks like she's 20. But the most impressive thing about her is not her looks, but her runes. Nala is no fighter, but if she is given enough time to set up runes, then I bet she could even defeat me with them. Now on to me, I have grown a lot since I was 14. I used to be 5 inch 4 foot, but now I'm 6'8" and weigh about 1,000 kilograms. Yeah, the moment I turned 19 I was constantly growing and stopped when I turned 20. It was insane that I grew that much in only a year, but that's probably normal for Saiyans. Currently, my body is packed with muscles, and I look quite intimidating if I do say so myself. And before you ask, yes, me and Nala have gotten into a romantic relationship. It happened a few years ago when I caught Nala masturbating with my clothes. Of course I got caught by her. I wasn't really trying to be sneaky. So instead of making things awkward between us, I decided just to go for it. And well, we stayed in her room for an entire week. Apparently, the greater a Naga's magic pool is, the stronger their libido will be. Anyways, it's been a few years since then, and although we never confirmed our relationship, I can't see myself ever being with another woman. Back to what Nala asked before. Sage dash yeah, I'm certain this is the place where he resides. Also, there is a woman there who will be able to help with your project. Smiling, I turn back to look at the solar system that Earth is in. Pressing a button that flies the spaceship toward Earth, which will only take a few hours. Getting up from my seat, I go to my room to get dressed before telling Nala to get ready. Sage dash Nala, get ready, we are going to have to appear in style. Making sure to hide most of my power so the Z fighters don't get too freaked out, otherwise it won't be any fun. I never mentioned my current power to you guys, and that's because it's insanely high. It's honestly ridiculous how powerful I am, and it's thanks to my hard work and Nala's runes. Sadly, while me and Nala explored the universe even with the magical compass, I barely found anyone who could give me a challenge. And I'm talking about the younger me, let alone the current me. Putting on my clothes, I look in the mirror. I'm still not wearing any shirt, I have baggy pants on with my tail swaying behind me. I'm also wearing black bracers, and each one seals away 45% of my power. I have some shoes on but nothing fancy, and last but not least I'm wearing an earring in my ear. While earrings aren't really my thing, Nala created them for me when I turned 30 and I couldn't just refuse them, so here I am. They are pure silver and the designs are different, the one I wear is a coiled up snake, and the one Nala wears is a monkey. Smiling at myself in the mirror, I wonder how entertaining the Z fighters will be. Sage, I will enjoy this. Underscore underscore underscore. Underscore underscore underscore. Sage's new power level dash 500T. Trunks' mother said that Frisia should be landing here soon, and Goku will appear soon after. Currently sitting on a rock in the middle of nowhere, is future Trunks along with the other Z fighters who sensed Trunks' ki. When Trunks told them that Frisia is still alive and he will be arriving on Earth, they got worried, but they calmed down a little when he said Goku will appear as well. They're skeptical of his claims, but they decided to wait and keep an eye on this person who appeared out of nowhere. While Trunks and the Z fighters were waiting, they suddenly sensed it. A massive amount of ki, so massive that it completely overshadowed any ki they have sensed before, and while this ki isn't evil like Frisia's, it radiated the aura of a beast just waiting for its power to be unleashed. Sensing the ki, everyone stands up and looks at the sky, sweating and shaking. Freight at such powerful ki. Piccolo looks over to Trunks and asks for an explanation. Piccolo - I thought you said Frisia was coming, not this monster. Trunks - she said Frisia was supposed to arrive. Krillin - well, it doesn't matter now, we can't do anything to someone that strong. Not even Goku could do anything. Bulma - is this person really that strong? How would he compare to Frisia? Everyone looks over to her, almost forgetting that she can't sense ki. Krillin - strong? Frisia? It wouldn't matter how many Frisias there were, that being could effortlessly destroy them. While they were talking and trying to come up with any sort of plan to defend themselves, out of nowhere, Goku appeared dressed in some weird clothes, startling everyone. Seeing how it's just Goku, they calm down before Gohan runs and jumps at him. Gohan - Dad, you're back. Goku - yeah, I'm back. So does anyone want to tell me about the massive ki I can sense? Trunks - we don't know anything, just hoping it's not an enemy. Goku, hearing Trunks' response, looks at the sky with a grim expression, whilst speaking his thoughts. Goku - we better hope that person isn't an enemy, otherwise there is nothing we can do. The Z fighters, hearing Goku, agrees with him before they calm back down, hoping that they don't have to fight such a monster. It's been about an hour since Goku arrived, and in front of them is a big spaceship currently landing. Goku - they have arrived, it's now or never. They nod in response, waiting for the owner of the ship to step out. Once the ship landed, the bottom hatch opened, allowing you to see a little inside. But that's not what they care about. What they are worried about is the man standing at the top of the hatch. Walking down, they can finally get a better look. Most of his body is covered in fur, he's only wearing pants, shoes, black bracers, and an earring. He's huge, not as tall as Piccolo, and has a long tail swaying behind him, but his massive muscle is the most impressive thing about his physique. He's also carrying a sack behind him. While walking down the hatch, he smirks at the Z fighters while releasing some of his power in their direction, forcing Kakarot and Trunks to go Super Saiyan and blocking most of the force, resulting in them getting slightly injured. The man, seeing this, gains a bigger smirk on his face, and he looked like he was going to do it again when suddenly he is hit on the back of his head with a pink tail, causing him to stop moving. The Z fighters, seeing him get hit, all freeze in shock and awe. Slithering down from behind him is a beautiful female who looks just like a human, but only from the waist up. From the waist down she has the body of a snake, covered in pink scales. But the most shocking thing is not only did she hit him, but she is also scolding him. Nala - the hell was that about? Don't go releasing your ki like that, or you might kill everyone here. If I find out that you killed that Bulma woman, then no training for a month, understand? Sage - TSK, fine. Nala - now where is the human named Bulma? ___________. Having Nala ruin my entrance was annoying, but hearing her mention no training for a month was even worse. I can still remember when I wasn't able to train for a week. Those were the worst week of my entire life. Looking down at the Z fighters, I noticed both Kakarot and Trunks seemed injured from my ki. Sage-ops, I can't be killing them by accident. Finding Bulma hiding behind a boulder, I point her out to Nala so she can leave me alone. Sage - she's the woman in the back hiding behind the boulder. Nala - okay, bye. And with that, Nala quickly slithers down the hatch and past the Z fighters, arriving next to the slightly scared Bulma. Ignoring them because they are only going to talk about stuff I don't understand. Continuing down the hatch, I throw the sack I've been carrying in front of the Z fighters when I reach the bottom. The moment the sack lands, a half-destroyed corpse of Frisia comes out, shocking the Z fighters. Now if you're wondering how I managed to get my hands on Frisia, it was easy. I was on planet Namek the moment I got news from the Galactic Patrolman that the Frisia force was converging on Namek. I had Nala inscribe some runes on my body so none of my ki leaks, otherwise I would have been long found out. After that, I just waited for Namek to blow up, flew to Frisia, grabbed him, and took him back with me to my spaceship that I hid on some planet close by. Everything is history after that. Sage - Frisia's dead, so stop stressing over that weakling. Now the reason I even brought Frisia's corpse was because of Cell. If Dr. Gero doesn't get any of Frisia's cells, then Cell will be weaker than what he's supposed to be, and that would mean no Super Saiyan 2 would be needed, which in turn would make them too weak when Majin Buu is unsealed. Seeing the corpse of Frieza in front of them surprises them, but they calm down afterward. Kakarot and Trunks return to normal before Kakarot walks in front of me and reaches his hand out, causing everyone else to be surprised by his actions. Goku dash, so I'm going to take it, you're not an enemy? Smiling, I fold my arms in front of my chest before answering him. Sage dash, don't jump to conclusions so fast. Sage dash, don't jump to conclusions so fast. Hearing me, the Z fighters get even more worried than before, and looking at Trunks I can even see he is slightly panicking. But this doesn't affect Kakarot much, he just looks a little confused. Piccolo dash, then are you an enemy or not? Turning my head to Piccolo, I see he is probably the calmest out of everyone here except for Kakarot. Sage dash, I'm not your enemy yet. You guys are currently far too weak to be of any excitement to me. Clearing up the confusion for them makes some of them calm down for now, but it seems like they got my message. Walking past them, heading to Nala and Bulma, who seemed to have the time of their life, when Kakarot interrupted me. Goku dash, fight me. Turning around, I see everyone looking exasperated at Kakarot with Piccolo looking like he is about to yell at him. Laughing at him, I accept his proposal to fight. Sage dash, then come at me. Kakarot, hearing my agreement, gets excited for a split second before he gets into a fighting stance and looks at me seriously while ignoring everyone else, transforming into an SSJ right off the bat. Smiling, I wait for him to attack me. Kakarot suddenly flashes to my left going for a kick. Dodging the kick, I back away and deflect a few key blasts he launched at me. Smirking at him, he flies right toward me and starts punching and kicking me. After dodging or deflecting all of his attacks for a few minutes, I suddenly flash right behind him and hit him in the back of my head, effectively knocking him out. Grabbing Kakarot by his leg, I throw him to the Z fighters before landing by Nala and Bulma. Landing next to them, freighting Bulma in the process, causing Nala to help calm her down. After Bulma has finally calmed down, I ask Nala her thoughts about Bulma. Sage dash, so, she is smart enough to help, isn't she? Nala dash, yeah. Just talking with her for a few minutes will make anyone realize she is a super genius. Bulma, hearing the praise from Nala, nods her head before she praises Nala as well. Bulma dash, and you Nala are amazing as well. Your runes are capable of doing things that technology won't be able to achieve. After praising each other, they go back to talking about science, runes, and a whole bunch of other stuff I don't know about. Sighing, I leave them alone and walk back to the Z fighters because I have nothing better to do. Walking to the loner Vegeta, I stand next to him, not bothering to start a conversation. While waiting, I watch the events play out almost the same as how I remember them. Trunks telling them about the future threat, giving Kakarot the pills after he woke up, and going back to his future after that. Right when we were about to leave, Vegeta finally asked me something. Vegeta dash, are you a Saiyan? Not bothering to look at him, I reply to him. Sage dash, yeah, and that makes 3 Saiyans stronger than you. So much for the title Prince of all Saiyans. Vegeta, hearing my response, got pissed cause I could sense his ki spike before he yelled at me and started walking off. Vegeta dash, just you wait, I Vegeta the Prince of all Saiyans will surpass everyone, so don't think you're special. Everyone else just looked at him before ignoring him. After Vegeta's little outburst, everyone else starts leaving as well. Kakarot walks up to me with Gohan, asking me about stuff. Goku dash, hey, I never got to ask your name? Sage dash, it's Sage, now what do you want? Goku dash, I was wondering, since you don't have a place to stay, would you like to come and stay with me? We can train every day? Gohan, who heard him, looks at him like he is a fool, and his question causes me to laugh at his kindness. Sage dash, he, no. I plan to explore the planet for a few days before doing my own thing. You can come and fight me later, just make sure you have someone to carry your unconscious body back home. After saying that, Kakarot and Gohan said bye before flying away, probably to their house. While watching everyone leave, I sense Nala slithering toward me. Nala dash, Sage, want to come with me? Bulma said we can stay at her place. Sage dash, no thanks, I would like to explore this planet. And besides, even if I went with you, I wouldn't be seeing you much, you would be too busy with your project. Nala dash, I guess you're right, but make sure to visit at least once a month. After she said that, she stood there looking at me. After a minute of her staring at me, I snorted at her before leaning down and kissing her. After kissing her, she smiled at me before finally slithered away, joining Bulma on her ship. Now that I'm alone, I start thinking about where I should train and sleep at. Sage, the reason I didn't go with Nala is because that insufferable prince will be staying there, and besides I have the training clothes Nala made for me. Definitely not going with Kakarot and Gohan. Chi-Chi is highly annoying and might kill her by accident. Kame house is also boring. Tien is an option, not Yamcha, he is probably going to bring woman back to the house. Piccolo honestly sounds like the best option, but I should talk to him before Gohan brings him to his house to train with. Deciding on what to do, I fly in the direction where I sense Piccolo's ki. Sage, but before that, let's explore the cities a little. Underscore. It's been a few days since we arrived on Earth, and right now, I'm standing in front of Piccolo in the middle of nowhere. We are both standing and staring at each other, the wind blowing, causing Piccolo's cape to flutter behind him. Sage, should I get a cape? Piccolo, what are you doing here? Breaking me out of my train of thought, I answer Piccolo. Sage, I needed a training partner, and you were the best option. Piccolo, you should have picked Goku, I'm not as strong as him. Saying that, he sits back down and starts meditating. Ignoring his antics, I take off my pants and put on the full-body training clothes that I had Nala improve on. And now they are no longer bulking like before, they are quite tight, but my movements don't feel hindered like before. Activating the weight rune that Nala implemented, I immediately sunk tens of meters into the ground, not being able to move at all. Sage, damn. This is only the first weight rune, there are still 4 more, and they are each 10x the weight as the one before it. But I am still suppressing my power, so I guess that's expected. No longer suppressing my power, it skyrockets up to 50x times what it was before. Probably shocking everyone else on the planet. No longer suppressing my power, I fly out of the long hole I made and came to see Piccolo no longer meditating. Moving my body around to get a feel for how difficult it is. Sage, this is good, heavy, but I can still move. Perfect for training. Looking at Piccolo, I get into a fighting stance, planning to fight him regardless. Sage, it doesn't matter whether it's you or Kakarot, you're both too weak for me to notice a difference. Besides, training with me isn't a bad deal anyways. After looking at me for a few seconds, he takes his cape and turban off before he gets into a fighting stance. Seeing him like that puts a smile on my face. Piccolo, don't hold back. Sage, I'm not the type to hold back when it involves fighting. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon at https://www.patreon.com/Kaioshin. I tend to polls that decide important plot stuff in my P at Trian. Many thanks to my awesome patrons. Ben Phillips, Yami Tancho, Harold's Martinsons. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be here until next time.